Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Retro Cartoons, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at my all-time favorite episodes from the new Scooby-Doo movies. So, before we start, roll the intro. Okay guys, so I hope you guys liked that new introduction, or like the opening scene, I guess, whatever you want to call it, that I made. I always had plans to make one, but I just never got around to it. And then last night, I know this is in the past for you, or excuse me, you guys are in the future, so, but last night was when I made it. I just finally got around to doing it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys are also happy with that as well. There will be a new one made further down the road, but for now I think that one will do a good job of what it needs to do. So I hope you guys like it. If not, I'm sorry. So today we're talking about the new Scooby-Doo movies. I have my cheat sheet right here where I have my entire list right here. I picked 7 of them that are my all-time favorite from both seasons, season 1 and season 2. As you know, that on this channel I've done my top whatever favorite from season 1 and top whatever favorite from season 2. So this is going to be a combined list for, of course, my all-time favorites of both seasons. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I have my sheet right here that has all like the episodes and has why I rank them and stuff. But before we do that, we're going to start out with an introduction, because I think the new Scooby-Doo movies it's an incarnation of Scooby-Doo that isn't as well known. You know, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, or What's New Scooby-Doo for like a newer one. So I'm going to give a introduction. I'm on Wikipedia right now, and yeah, we're going to be doing that real quick. Okay, so the new Scooby-Doo movies is an American animated mystery comedy television series produced by Hanna-Barbera for CBS. It is the second animated television series in the studio's Scooby-Doo franchise, and follows the first incarnation, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? It premiered on September 9th of 1972 and ran for 2 seasons on CBS as the only hour-long Scooby-Doo series. 24 episodes were produced, 16 for the 1972 to 1973 season, and 8 more for the 1973 to 1974 season. So I have my list right here, my top 7 on this piece of paper. Let me see, I have 1, 2, 3 from season 1 and 4 from season 2. So actually it's kind of strange that I have 4 from season 2, because season 2 only had 8 episodes while season 1 had 16 episodes. So maybe I'm more of a season 2 kind of guy. I don't know, I guess so. So how this is going to kind of work is we're going to start with number 7, of course. I'm going to tell you guys the season number, the episode number, and then I'm going to give a short introduction about the episode, which I will once again read off of Wikipedia. I love Wikipedia. It's such a great site. I know it's not always true, obviously. You shouldn't use that for school. By the way, don't use that for school, kids. Never use Wikipedia for school. Teachers will be very, very angry with you. So, but for what I'm doing here, it's perfectly acceptable. So I'm going to read kind of like an introduction about the episode, which of course will be found on Wikipedia, and then I'll give you guys my 2 reasons on why the episode made a certain spot and made the list or whatever. So yeah, with that all being said, let's get into the video. Alright, so starting off in the number 7 spot, we have an episode from season 2. This is episode 6 of season 2, and it is titled The Weird Winds of Winona. And this, of course, features the cast of Speed Buggy. And if you are not familiar with the new Scooby-Doo movies, each episode had a guest, like a guest star, like a featured guest, so I'll tell you guys that as well. But anyway, this episode aired on October 13th of 1973. The introduction reads, The gang teams up with the Speed Buggy crew to find out why a town's population is suddenly declining, as they learn that something is strangely blowing in the wind and is causing the residents to be fearful. So that's the quick introduction for that episode. Okay, so why this episode made this list and made the number 7 spot on this list is because I enjoyed the fact that Winona is a non-fiction location, meaning that it actually exists. So I thought that was kind of cool, because with a lot of the episodes, even like in today's episodes of Scooby-Doo, a lot of the locations are fictional, so I thought it was really cool that they included a non-fiction location. The second reason is the fact that another non-human being, I don't even know if you'd use the word being, but another like non-human character is involved, which of course that being Speed Buggy. So now Scooby, of course, is non-human because he's a dog. So I thought that it was kind of cool that with the guests they brought in another character that wasn't human, of course, because Speed Buggy is a car. Well, he's not exactly a car, but he's a vehicle. I don't know how you describe him, but he's a vehicle. So, that being said, let's move on to number 6. In the number 6 spot, we have the Haunted Showboat featuring the cast of Josie and the Pussycats. And this episode was first aired on September 15th of 1973, making it the second episode of the second season of the new Scooby-Doo movies. While en route to the Tom Sawyer Festival, the gang gets lost during a storm and winds up getting stuck on a dock near an old haunted showboat called the Dixie Queen, where they bump into the cast of Josie and the Pussycats. Okay, now why the haunted showboat made the number 6 spot on my list is because I enjoyed kind of like the riverboat and the river setting. That's just like a setting that I enjoy. I think there's something a little bit creepy and something that's very unique and quaint about having like the river and like the riverboat setting. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the episode. And the second thing that I enjoy is the ghost historical aspect. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about Injun Joe mainly. So I thought that it was really cool that they kind of threw that kind of historical figure into the episode. And so yeah, let's move on to number 5. Okay, in the number 5 spot, we have the Spirit Spooked Sports Show featuring Tim Conway. This episode first aired on September 29th of 1973, making it the 4th episode of the second season of the new Scooby-Doo movies. The introduction of this episode reads, the gang helps Coach Tim Conway track down the ghost of an athlete that is haunting the students and the facility of Velma's Alma Mater. I enjoyed the Spirit Spooked Sports Show and ultimately ranked it number 5 on my list due to the fact that it included Velma's past, of course, because they were at her high school or, where she graduated from. So I thought that was very cool how they kind of included that. That was something that they didn't really do a whole lot back in like the early episodes and seasons and incarnations of Scooby-Doo. So I thought that was cool. And then I also really like the athletic theme. I enjoy sports and all of that, so that was a plus for me as well. Okay, so that takes us to the number 4 spot on my list, which of course houses the Frickard Fracas featuring Jonathan Winters. And this is our first episode from the first season of the new Scooby-Doo movies. And this was the 4th episode of season 1 and first aired on September 30th of 1972. Jonathan Winters invites the gang to stay with him on a chicken farm, where Maude Frickard needs help finding a secret formula, unless a mysterious scarecrow gets to it first. So why this episode made number 4? Of course, I have my 2 reasons for that. And the first one being the countryside setting. That's, once again, for a Scooby-Doo episode, or even just a cartoon in general, I really like the countryside setting. I just think that's cool, and I really like the large farm that was incorporated into this episode. Secondly, I really enjoyed the impressions that Jonathan Winters gave. I thought that they were very funny, and they made the episode pretty comical, but of course you had kind of like the scary aspect to it, but it did help make the episodes more comical. Alright, so now we're going to move into the top 3 episodes, my all-time favorite episodes from the new Scooby-Doo movie. In the 3rd spot, we have the first episode of the second season of the new Scooby-Doo movies, and that episode is titled The Mystery of Haunted Island, featuring the Harlem Globetrotters. Now this episode first aired on September 8th of 1973. Alright, and the preface to this episode reads, while intending to go on a trip to Picnic Island, the gang and the Harlem Globetrotters end up on a boat going to the nearby Haunted Island, where they are greeted by 3 hooded ghosts. This episode cracked into the top 3 because of the Haunted Showboat and the Haunted Mansion setting of the episode. I really like both those, as I said. I like the Haunted Showboat from my number 6 position, which would have been the episode featuring the cast of Josie and the Pussycats, and of course that favorite was once again revealed in my 3rd episode, in my number 3 spot of this list. And so I really did like that, and once again, you can never go wrong with the Haunted Mansion for like a Scooby-Doo episode or even any sort of cartoon. I mean, that's always a good setting. So moving on, the second reason is just the hilarious Harlem Globetrotters. They didn't come from like a comedy background or anything like that, but they ended up being very, very comical, which is what made those episodes that featured the Harlem Globetrotters some of my favorites, and you'll see that again coming up. That was a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? That was a little bit of a look into the future, if you will. Next we move to the runner-up position. In the runner-up position, we have The Ghost of Bigfoot featuring Laurel and Hardy. This was the 10th episode of the first season of the new Scooby-Doo movies. And this episode first aired on November 11th of 1972. So, according to Wikipedia, the preface of this episode reads, "The ghost of Bigfoot has been scaring everyone away from a popular skiing resort. Scooby's gang, together with Laurel and Hardy, try to solve the mystery." So, two reasons why I enjoyed this episode was one, was the skiing aspect. Skiing is a sport I really enjoy taking part in. It's one of my favorite sports, in fact. So that's the first reason. And the second reason being the stolen car operation, which was the whole kind of motive behind the ghost of Bigfoot. And in my opinion, that was very non-fictional and very realistic. If something in Scooby-Doo can be realistic, I would say this is pretty realistic in my opinion. And that's why it made the number 2 spot. And next we'll move on to the champion. Boasting the champion of my all-time favorite episodes from the new Scooby-Doo movies, we have The Loch Ness Mess, featuring the Harlem Globetrotters. This is episode 16, so the final episode of season 1. This episode aired 2 days before Christmas 1972 on December 23rd of 1972. Inviting the Harlem Globetrotters to Shaggy's uncle's house, the gang gets caught between colonial ghosts and a sea serpent. This episode takes the champion for my favorite episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies, and there are two reasons why it takes the champion position in the number 1 spot. First being that Shaggy's past was incorporated, and this wasn't just one thing where it was just mentioned, it was shown in the episode. Obviously you have Shaggy's uncle, and then during the episode, they're up in Shaggy's uncle's attic, or a storage room, one or the other, I don't know exactly. I don't think anybody knows exactly. But they were up there, and they were looking through a photo album with, of course, the photos of younger Shaggy and younger Scooby, and I thought that was really cool how it kind of was a bigger part of the episode, as, of course, if you compare to the Spirit Spook Sports show, it just mentions that this is Velma's high school. So I thought that was very cool. And then the second reason, which if you know me well and if you watch a lot of my videos, the historical aspect. I've said this many times about this episode. I love the history. Boston is such a historic city. And just the state of Massachusetts is also just such a historic state. And I thought it was very cool how they were able to incorporate that into this episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies. And that is why it is my all-time favorite episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies. Alright everybody, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys did go on to enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like to help expose this video to a broader audience. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, if you want to comment about your list, if you want to comment about my list, please feel free to comment down below in the comment section. I answer every comment, and I do it, in my opinion, in a timely manner. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer, but I do it as quick as I can. And lastly, if you enjoy Scooby-Doo cartoons, classic cartoons, Charlie Brown, Peanuts, Garfield, whatever, if you enjoy any of that, Scooby-Doo full episodes, whatever, I would consider hitting the subscribe button for videos. I try to upload at least once a week. Sometimes it takes a bit longer than that for me to get one up, but right now I'm kind of on a roll for videos, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this, so you should go ahead and hit the subscribe button to be along for the ride. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.